and ask them, why didn't they teach you about the Queen of Heaven? Why didn't they teach you about Asherah? Why did you steal Eve's legacy as Hawa and misrepresent her when we know it's Sumeria? She's Nimchawa. Why did you tell me that the rib came out of man when we see in Sumer, the same geographical location you said your story comes from, but a people existed before you there? We see that the word rib inside in Hebrew, Selah, comes from the story of a person whose side was hurting and they needed rib surgery. They have to answer these questions. They have to answer these questions.
Barak Yahawah, Barak YAHAWASHI, SHALAWAM AHCHYAM, and welcome to another lesson. Today's lesson we're going to be discussing the rib of Adam, because your boy, the asshole, poor light, you know, brother Poe, brother Polite, you know, he went into his rant and his spiel, you know, about Adam's rib, and you know how the Most High didn't create man correctly, so he had to take a rib out of Adam to make Eve. Some kind of madness he was saying. I mean, he knows better what he's saying, but we're just gonna address that, you know, about the rib issue with Adam, you know, in the scriptures, because you know it is, you know, the brother Tazayak, I believe the brother's name is, he addressed it, you know, and I just wanted just to hit a few points on it. If any other brothers out there had any confusion concerning the rib of Adam, you know, now it's not talking about an actual rib like you see here. You know, the Most High performed surgery on Adam, use a scalpel, a spiritual scalpel, open his flesh and pull out a rib, and then he just fashioned a woman from the rib. How stupid can you be? Basically, it's hip talk. That's what it was, hip talk, you know? And, you know, and the Lord used it as a figure, you know? So we're going to go to it. This is Genesis 2:18 down to 23. And the Lord power said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. And out of the ground the Lord power formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to all the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helpmeet for him. Now remember that the reason why I said that there was not found a helpmeet for Adam was because he didn't have a woman at the time. Because there were many people created in the beginning. You know, as we've read plenty of times, there were many people created in the beginning. And I'm just going to read that real quick. You know, for those of you that don't know, this is Genesis, the 1st chapter and the 20th verse, and it says, and God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. So there were many people created in the beginning, both male and female. But the Lord chose the male, the man, to make him as himself, you know, to make him upright, you know, to teach him the law, statutes, and commandments. You know, as you read in the 26th verse, and the power said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So men, which were created, were many, and women that were created were many. All right, so there were many men and women created in the beginning. You know, not like them crazy ass stories of these Egyptian and Sumerian stories of creation, where there was one man created and he was neither male nor female, or he was both male and female, something like that, and all kind of madness. Anyway, getting back here, it says, but for Adam there was not found an helpmeet for him. So there wasn't a woman that was set up for Adam as of yet. But now the Lord is setting up this woman that was among these people. All right. It says, and the Lord power caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. Now let's deal with this part of the deep sleep, because basically what happened was the Most High put Adam in a trance. All right. And we're going to read scriptures on it, precept upon precept, right? Genesis 15:12. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, and horror of great darkness fell upon him. So the Lord caused a trance to come upon Abram or Abraham. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in the land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. So the Lord put a deep sleep or a trance upon Abram and showed him a vision of things that were going to happen to his seed in the future, which were the Israelites serving captivity under the Egyptians. Now, when you go up in the New Testament in the book of Acts, this is Acts 10 and 9. On the morrow, as they went on their journey and drew nigh unto the city, Peter went up upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour. And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they made ready, he fell into a trance. So basically what happened? Peter fell into a trance, just like Abram fell into a trance, and just like Adam fell into a trance. The Lord put a trance on Adam. And saw heaven open and a certain vessel descending unto him as it had been a great sheet knit at the 4 corners and let down to the earth. So the Lord put Peter in a trance and he showed him a vision, just like he did to Abram, just like he did to Adam. And the Lord power caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. He put him in a trance and he slept, and he took one of his ribs, meaning one of his family members, and closed up the flesh instead thereof. Okay, so that was part of that line of Adam. Okay, because when you read the scriptures in the law, you're not supposed to take anybody that's closely related to you. You know, like your cousin, you know, your sister, and things like of that nature. So it doesn't really say where Eve or what Eve was to Adam, but she had to be a very close relative. She could have been a cousin. She could have been his sister. You know, we don't know for sure, but we know that it's a family member because of based on it says he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof, because it came from the same family line. Okay. It says, and the rib which the Lord power had taken from man made he woman and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man. So they'll read that and they'll think that the Lord actually took a rib and made a woman and brought her to Adam to be with Adam. But there were many men and many women created back then. Okay, so now we're going to deal with this issue about the rib, about the bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. So you can understand that it's talking about a family member. It's not talking about the actual flesh as you see in this picture here. It ain't talking about the actual rib. It's talking about a family member. This is the book of Judges 9 and 1. And Abimelech, which is one of the judges, it says, Salakia, it says, and Abimelech, the son of Jerubbaal, Satan be gone. And Abimelech, the son of Jerubbaal, went to Shechem unto his mother's brethren, and communed with them and with all the family of the house of his mother's father, saying. So now this is Abimelech, which is one of the judges, speaking to his brothers, his actual brothers, right? It says, speak, I pray you, in the ears of all the men of Shechem, whether it is better for you, either that all the sons of Jerubbaal, which are 70 persons, 70 people, reign over you, or that one reign over you. Remember also that I am your bone and your flesh. And there's many scriptures in the Bible that refer to a brother or a family member as your bone and your flesh. Does that mean that the Lord stopped, grabbed Abimelech, opened up his flesh, took a rib out, and created all his family members? That's why he's saying this? No. It's figurative speech. It's hip talk. All right? Remember also that I am your bone and your flesh. And his mother's brethren, his mother's brothers, spake of him in the ears of all the men of Shechem, all these words, and their hearts inclined to follow Abimelech, for they said, he is our brother. So when it said he is bone of their bone, flesh of their flesh, because he was their brother of their family line. All right, this is the book of 2 Samuel 19 and 11. And King David sent to Zadok and Abiathar the priests, saying, speak unto the elders of Judah, saying, why are you the last to bring the king back to his house? Seeing the speech of all Israel is come to the king, even to the house. You are my brethren. See, his brothers. You are my bones and my flesh. Wherefore then are you the last to bring back the king? And say to Amasa, art thou not of my bone and of my flesh? The Most High do so to me and more also, if thou be not captain of the host before me continually in the room of Joab. So basically he said, what? You are bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. Y'all are my brothers. And that's what it meant when you read in the book of Genesis, where it says, and the Lord power caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. So in other words, he took a family member out of Adam's line and gave her to Adam to be his wife. That's all it meant. It didn't mean that the Lord actually took a rib out of him. And the rib which the Lord power had taken from man made he a woman and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man. So she was taken out of that family line. So she gave, the Lord gave this woman, Eve, unto Adam. And that's all it meant. That's what it means by bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. And the deep sleep part basically meant that the Lord put a trance on Adam, and he showed Adam in that trance the woman that was going to be with him. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's been the lesson on the rib, that was taken out of Adam to create Eve. It's basically figurative or hip talk, and with that, I hope you brothers learned something. Till the next time, I say shalom.